number 125 to 186 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new, with Mr. Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on the street, 919 FM. 7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on the street, 919 FM.
All right, Shanti Bigo, so we're getting ready to go to our paid segment with Mr. Brent Dart. And he is already on Zoom. Good morning, Mr. Dart. How are you?
Good morning, Pastor Google. I'm fine. And how are you doing? Thank you for your greetings.
All right. And I hope that you, well, most people, some Christians are now coming to the awareness of Good Friday being Passover. And most people are now going down that road of, Passover greetings than Good Friday or Easter greetings per se. So I have always been one to believe in the Passover, especially understanding it, how it goes. So again, I hope that you have a good Passover.
Yes, same to you as well and your family.
Right, Shanti, so I hand you over now to Mr. Brent Dart.
Okay, so thank you once again, Pastor Google. And as you said, I want to send Passover greetings to you. For those of you who still believe in, Easter greetings and Good Friday greetings, I also want to send greetings to you this morning. And my name is Brent Diet. I am from Kingdom Health Services, and we are located at 186 Eastern Main Road, Tunapuna. And our goal is to create customized health solutions to meet both you and your family needs. And you're tuned into the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new. And in this program, we discuss the remedies that our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents would have used, whilst introducing new breakthroughs as it relates to health and technology. So this morning, I want to send greetings, birthday greetings. Yet March is a month dear to me. It's also my birthday month. But there are a lot of persons that I know whose birthdays are in March. So firstly, I want to send belated birthday greetings to one of my sister, Deja. Her birthday was the 13th of March. Miss Alva Corridon, her birthday was in March. My brother-in-law, the 17th of March. One of the chiefs in Liberia, whom I'm doing some work with because he's developed a cryptocurrency called the Abundance Coin, Chief Abundance. I want to send greetings to him. His birthday was on the 24th of March. One of my sisters who worked directly with me and a great supporter and, one of the backbones to what we do at Kingdom Health Services, her birthday was on Tuesday, the 26th of March. My mom's birthday was yesterday, the 20th of March. My birthday is tomorrow, the 30th of March. And I want to send greetings to Mr. Mark Corridon. His birthday is the day after mine, the 31st of March. So greetings to all the March born and those who also have upcoming birthdays in the month of April. My wife is celebrating her birthday in April. I want to send greetings to you this morning. So many of you would have known that I am leaving soon to go and do my practicals in the US. So it's confirmed. I'll be leaving in the first week in April. And most likely, God's willing, I should be returning roughly by the 6th of May. So between 3 weeks and a month, I'll be going forward to do that practicals. However, I would ensure that even while I'm across there and I'm learning, I would still be on our program here on Street 919 every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. And I'll be sharing some of the new things that we would have been learning with you so that you and all will be able to practice it. So as I am learning, I'll be able to share information and you can also learn in the process. So we'll be covering food preparation. I'm really excited because it's not an area that I was trained in. And for those of you who would have visited us, I always share with our clients that I don't venture in areas that I'm not proficient in or skilled or trained in. I would prefer to get a professional so that you can get the best service. I don't pretend that I know or I'm proficient in certain areas to fool individuals. No, because it's your health. So I prefer to, contact one of my colleagues who is a professional in that area, and we work together to provide a solution for you. Also, just last night, because the theoretical part of the course is ending on the 4th of April, and we looked at pandemic preparation. And it's amazing when I look through the history of pandemics. It has been a critical role in human history, pandemics. And we would have gone through about 15 to 20 different pandemics from the beginning or the inception of time. And there has always been herbs. There's always been natural supplements, natural things that persons would have done to preserve and to protect life. And I want to share a few of what I would have learned last night while introducing things that I would have known before. But I want to share some of the pandemics that would have taken place throughout history. And for those of you who may not know, my first degree was in history. So I am qualified to be a history teacher based on my training at the University of the West Indies. So this morning's topic, I want to talk on building a strong immune system, as well as preparing for any pandemic or future issues that may affect your immune system and your health. So in 430 BC, one of the first recorded pandemics was the plague of Athens. And that would have taken place during the Spartan War. Many persons would have watched 300. And that is an actual historical event, the Spartan War. And it took roughly 75,000 to 100,000 persons' lives. So that told us between 75,000 to 100,000 persons dying. Then you had the plague of Galen. That was in 165 BC, which took 25% of the population who were affected by it. Then you have the Cyprian plague, which was 249 BC. That took over 5,000 deaths, or that was over 5,000 persons per day in Rome. And then you had in 541 AD, you had the Justinianic plague. And this was one of the first of 3 plagues or pandemics that, affected the world. And it took roughly between 15 to 100 million persons. So that was a death toll. In 1347, we had the Black Death. And in Europe, just in Europe alone, the outcome was between 25 to 100 million deaths from that Black Death pandemic. Moving along, we had in 1520, we had the smallpox pandemic. And, persons are still tallying. There is not a settled agreement as to how many persons actually died. Some scholars says it's between 300,000 to probably 2 million deaths, but it would have varied. Then you had the Great Plague of London, which was in 1665. That recorded for over 100,000 deaths just in London. Then you had in 1817 the first cholera pandemic, and that killed hundreds of thousands of British troops in India, and it killed millions globally, worldwide. Then you had the third plague pandemic, which was in 1855, that killed roughly over 15 million persons. You had the measles in Fiji Islands, which was over 40 to 100,000 deaths. You had the Russian flu in 1889, which killed roughly over 1 million deaths, and it was one of the first influenzas that was recorded. You had, about H1N1. This one is H3N8 influenza. Then you had the influenza, the Spanish flu of 1918 during World War, and that accounted for roughly between 50 to 100 million deaths worldwide, which was the H1N1 variant. We had the Asian flu in 1957. That accounted for roughly 1 to 2 million deaths worldwide. And all of these flu are similar in its genetic makeup. This one is H2N2. You had the Hong Kong flu in 1968. It's accounted for roughly 1 to 4 million deaths worldwide. We had the HIV AIDS virus, which is still counting today, but over 25 to 100 million deaths globally. Then in 2002, we had the SARS-CoV virus, which affected many persons and accounted for hundreds of thousands of deaths in 2002. In 2009, we had the swine flu, which accounted for close to 1 million deaths globally. Then in 2019, we had the SARS-CoV-2, which is the COVID-19 virus or pandemic. And as of November 30th, 2023, it accounted for roughly 7 million deaths globally. So we see throughout history that pandemics would have affected humanity and mankind. And there are several things that persons, even, from the inception of time and during the first recorded pandemic, which was in Athens in 430 BC, there were things that herbalists and naturalists, persons who adopted a natural approach in building their immune system and addressing the viruses, that they were able to overcome, and not only overcome, but to thrive in the midst of it and to preserve their lives and the lives of their families and loved ones. So this morning, I want to share a few things of what we can do, herbs that you can use during a pandemic, or, you can create your own emergency kit with herbs, so that if ever in the future we were to experience another pandemic, or whether it's from COVID or any other pandemic, we'll be prepared in building a strong immune system to overcome any health issues in the future. One of the things that I recommend persons do, especially working on building a strong immune system, is cleansing. And I know many of you out have mentioned the Universal Mind product. Just last night, I took a dose, and right before coming on, it had me going off because it's a really potent combination of herbs. I mentioned sometime in the past that this Universal Mind product, it came from a chief. It was designed from a chief in Ghana, Africa, and it was his recipe for living long. What the chief would have done, the chief Dunker would have done, he would have used it throughout his lifetime, and he had passed on the recipe to his grandson when he was 136 years old. And these men were still sexually active, still having children, and he lived past 150. And his grandson migrated to the US, passed it on to his daughter, and I am in touch with his daughter and became the only distributor for the Caribbean. So it's a herb that is made out of bitter herbs, and you know that the bitter herbs, they are good for your health. I shared testimonials before where one person was on dialysis, and they brought him in on a stretcher. They gave him about a month to live. And what he did, he bought about 2 cases of the Universal Mind, and he was drinking 1 a day because he said, better I spend my money to try and get back my health than to just do nothing and die. And my money goes to family or to persons who would not, value and use it wisely. And after using it for a month, he walked out of that health facility that he was in. And 25 plus years later, he's still alive, no longer need to take dialysis because the kidney together with, and I don't want to, allocate all of the success to the Universal Mind. There had to be a change in diet, lifestyle. So he had to make overall changes. But one of the things that sparked that change and made a significant impact upon his health was the Universal Mind. Secondly, there are a couple of herbs that I recommend persons have, in preparedness for a pandemic, having lavender. During the Spanish flu and a lot of these pandemics, one of the herbs that they would have used and things that we eat was garlic. We know that garlic has antifungal, antibacterial properties, and they were consuming garlic on a regular basis. They were making garlic patches and poultices, and it was helping them in a major and a significant way in overcoming viruses and diseases. Then you have chamomile, which would help the nervous system, which would help to relax the body. You have mugwort, you have wormwood. And wormwood, we know that is very good for parasites, different types of parasites in the body. You have onions, echinacea. Many persons, when they have respiratory issues, they use echinacea. You can also use elderberry. There's an elderberry formula that I have. I'm yet to use it, but it's very potent when it comes to fighting off viruses and diseases and boosting your immune system. So having herbs like elderberry, having herbs like juniper berries, astragalus roots, and astragalus is one of the herbs that we use in a significant way. Persons may be diagnosed with cancer or autoimmune issues, and what the astragalus does, it helps to boost and repair the immune system. And once you have a thriving immune system and your body begins to function the way that God designed it to function, then no diseases can survive in an environment where the body is functioning where it was created, the way that it was created to function. So this helps the immune system function the way that it was designed to function, so that you can overcome diseases and health issues. Then you have ginger. We know that ginger is very potent when it comes to overcoming health issues. You have angelica root, you have cinnamon bark, you have orange peel, honey. All of these things can be used when it comes to treating health issues. Then there are a few things that I want to recommend. There are many persons, and please, some of the recommendations that I'm mentioning, please consult your physician, your doctor, because some of you may be on medication and you would want to ensure that based on the medication that they're using, that it's safe for you to use. But naturally, I want to share a few things that you can consider naturally with the advice of your physician. So persons who, your blood is very thick, and you may not want to use aspirin. You may not even want to use aloe vera, because you know that aloe vera is like a natural warfarin or aspirin. You can use meadowsweet. That is a herb. It acts like aspirin in dealing with the blood viscosity. So if the blood is too thick, it would normalize it so that it would, you wouldn't have to worry about blood clots and thickening of the blood. Then you can use willow bark. So persons, a lot of persons would have asked me, what is a natural painkiller? And at the point in time, I mentioned DMSO, which is dimethyl sulfoxide. Whenever persons are in the hospital and medical doctors, nurses would like to get a medication into the bloodstream within a matter of seconds. They use DMSO as a carrier, but they also use DMSO as a as a painkiller to help alleviate or help persons cope with pain. But an even more potent herb that you can use is willow bark. Willow bark acts like a natural painkiller to help you, it comforts you when you're experiencing pain, especially joint pain. Then you can use yarrow, and yarrow is a very potent, it's almost like a cure-all herb. Whenever you may not be feeling well, one of the herbs that you should have at your disposal, besides cayenne pepper. Cayenne, it's a herb that I recommend every single person have in their home. I remember a few weeks ago in the course that I'm doing, when I found out even more details about cayenne, where if somebody were to get a gunshot wound, or they were to get a cut and the cut is bleeding nonstop and the blood is pouring out, if the person drinks cayenne or pours cayenne in the area, the blood would stop flowing immediately. And that may be able to give you, it may be able to preserve the life of the person who may be bleeding out. So cayenne pepper is one of the herbs that I recommend every home has, including yarrow. Then you also have comfrey. So persons, you may have injuries, you may have fractured your bone, you may have had a cut. One of the herbs that acts like a natural, if you were to get stitches and to knit the skin and knit the bones and even the tissues together, it's comfrey. But you must ensure that the area is not infected, because it would knit everything together. It would knit the infection and cause the wounds. So persons who may have wounds, diabetic wounds or sores, once it's not infected and you clean it properly and you have cuts that are taking very long to heal, one of the herbs that you can drink and even, paste on the area is comfrey. And you would see how that skin would begin to knit together as if you were stitching it together for it to be repaired. So those are just a few herbs that you can actually use during a pandemic. Persons who may be experiencing respiratory issues, one of the things that I use often is colloidal silver. And I mentioned that I once had contracted tuberculosis from a client, and it had me in Quora for 3 months and in Mount Hope for 1 month. So I was hospitalized for roughly about 4 months because, TB is airborne, and I had to isolate and be quarantined in Quora to be treated. And besides God's intervention and prayer of persons and the care of loved ones, one of the things that I would have used that also assisted in, the repairing of my body and my respiratory system, especially having difficulties to breathe, I would have been using a lot of the colloidal silver. So persons with respiratory issues, that is one of the things that I highly recommend you consider using. So I want to give a health tip to boost the immune system, and this is today's health tip by Kingdom Health Services. And this is the immune booster, and I would have shared it before. So in conjunction with the use of herbs, cleansing your body so that your body can repair quickly by using either a good cleanse, a total body cleanse like the Universal Mind. You can also boost your immune system by this health tip. So today's health tip by Kingdom Health Services. So the immune booster, you need 1 grapefruit, 1 orange, 1 lemon, 6 cloves of garlic, 1 piece of ginger, roughly 2 inches, 1 piece of turmeric, which is roughly 2 inches, half of a medium onion, and you can preferably use the red onion. Then you need 2 teaspoons of honey just for, taste. And you want to add 2 to 3 tablespoons of water if necessary. And what you're going to do, you're going to blend all of that. So I'm going to share it again. The immune booster, you need 1 grapefruit, 1 orange, 1 lemon. So you're going to squeeze the lemon, you're going to squeeze the orange, you're going to squeeze the grapefruit. You're going to use 6 cloves of garlic. You're going to use 1 piece of ginger, roughly 2 inches. 1 piece of turmeric, roughly 2 inches. Half of a medium onion. 2 teaspoons of honey for taste. And you're going to add 2 to 3 tablespoons of water if necessary. And you're going to blend that. And that is your drink. You can drink all at once, or you can drink it throughout the day. And you can do that, twice for a week, 3 times per week, just to give you that boost when necessary. So that is our immune booster. I'm going to repeat it one more time. You're using 1 grapefruit, 1 orange, 1 lemon, and you're going to squeeze all of them. You're going to use 6 cloves of garlic, not heads, 6 cloves, 1 piece of ginger, roughly 2 inches, 1 piece of turmeric, 2 inches, half of a medium onion. You're going to add 2 teaspoons of honey for taste. And you're going to add 2 to 3 tablespoons of water if necessary. And you're going to blend everything and you're going to drink. And that would boost your immune system. You'll get a kick, you'll feel energized. So for those of you who like to contact us, you can call us at 318-7471. That's 318-7471, as well as 484-0141, 484-0141. Even as time begins to wind down and we begin to wrap up very soon, there may be some of you have been going to different physicians, and as we are celebrating Passover, some of us will say Easter weekend, Good Friday, and remember the death of our Lord Jesus Christ and what he would have done for humanity. One of the things that I remember in the book of Mark chapter 5 was the woman with the issue of blood. And I'm not, using this analogy to play or to claim to be Jesus, but, as a representative of him on earth. And I shared many persons that this area of health is not something that I got into for money. I believe God genuinely called me to this area of health. I shared part of my testimonial whereby at the age of 12 in Lubre, there's an elderly woman called Dorothy Turner. And, she was loved in the community, and I used to feed and mind her chickens for her. And whenever she was ill, I would ask my mom to sleep over. And Miss Dorothy Turner, she would teach me what plants to use, how to use them. So I had to prepare them for her because she could not have walked. And sometimes I would cook stuff for her based on her instructions. So she would teach me what plants, what they were good for. And at a young age of 12, not knowing that years later that, I would have been directed into this area of health. And I shared moons ago on a Friday like this that I initially got through to work in a law firm. And when I got through, I was supposed to start on Monday. And I just felt like this wasn't where God wanted me to be. And from there, through a mentor by the name of Apostle Butchel Beard, he was the one that connected me with doctors and, opened the door for me to be trained in this area of health. But back to the analogy that I was sharing, and as I prepare to wrap up, there are many of you, like the woman with the issue of blood, you've been going to doctors and physicians and you've been spending up all of your life savings and you're not getting better. I want to encourage you to trust God, as well as there may be a solution right in the midst of your problem that you may not have been aware of. And one of the things that helps persons, when they come to us, they're going all over to figure out what is wrong. They still cannot figure it out. When they come to us, they do one of our diagnostic tests. They do the biophilia track or the biotic pro scan. And they come to us, they don't tell us anything. And we are now able to pinpoint exactly what they're experiencing, telling them what they're experiencing. and then they confirm it, and then we work on making suggestions of how they can make changes, whether in diet, supplements that they can consider using. And in many cases, persons, they no longer experience the health issue and their health has been restored. So many of you may be going different places and no results. And, you can call us, you can contact us, and, we just may be the person that God may have ordained or designed to bring that solution, or to help you even understand and detect exactly what is happening with you, so that you can make the necessary changes to obtain and maintain good health. So I want to send greetings to you. Happy Passover. And for those of you who like to contact us, you can call us again at 318-7471. That's 318-7471, as well as 484-0141. 484-0141. And see you here every Friday on Street 919 from 9:15 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services. God bless you, and have a great Passover and Easter weekend.
Entertainment, information, conversation. All on Street 91.9 FM, the official station that defends the nation.
The Street 919, Trinidad and Tobago.
To the Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 125 to 186 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna. For the program Health and Healing, merging the old with the new, with Mr. Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on the Street 919 FM.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Lift your hands, everybody. Team, begin to lead us as we worship the Lord. Come on.
Say